geniuses like Albert Einstein and Margaret Mead talking about it, which means that the fact that it's a lie is truly surprising. Now, while it's true that some areas of the brain are more active than others at certain times, we can actually become disabled when we damage just a tiny part of it. Furthermore, head CTs and other brain scanning devices have proven that, unless damaged, there is no time when any one part of the brain is not functioning at all. Thus, scientists have concluded that there's no secret extra potential up there. The myth that your mind can be controlled through subliminal messages. James Vickery, a market researcher, first coined the term subliminal message in 1957, saying that he influenced viewers of a movie to buy concessions. He embedded a message that displayed for 1/3000th of a second in the film and revealed that sales of Coca-Cola increased by 18% while sales in popcorn increased 57%. However, not only did Vickery lie about those results, but a number of experiments conducted after his concluded subliminal messages do not work in regards to influencing behavior. If that was true, YouTube would be a lot easier. So if you're worried that you bought those Nike shoes because they brainwashed you, think again. Besides, if we're not consciously aware of the stimulus, it's considered supraliminal, not subliminal. The myth that babies get smarter if they listen to Mozart. Oh, did your mama play Mozart for you when you were in her stomach? Oh, look at how smart you are. It has nothing to do with it. Have you ever seen a pregnant woman with headphones on her stomach? Or sitting in a room with classical music turned all the way up to loud? The rumor has spread over the last several decades that listening to Mozart or other classical pieces can increase potential in developing minds, including while that mind is still in the mother's womb. The notion actually started back in the 1950s from an ear, throat, and nose doctor named Albert Tomatis, who used Mozart's music to help combat speech and auditory disorders. However, multiple modern-day studies have failed to recreate the same outcome, leading to the original experiment's founders to go back on their results, claiming that they never said that it would make the subject smarter at all. Backpedaling. Oh, sorry, it's a cough I got. The myth that left-brained people and right-brained people are different. You've likely heard about how logical and rational left-brained people are, or perhaps how artistic and creative right-brained people are.
No.
You may have even thought long and hard about which side you might be. Well, I'm here to tell you that technically you're both. See, we actually use both hemispheres of our brains for every cognitive function. This whole myth stems from data that psychologists have used to determine differences in personality types, in addition to the fact that there were some people who process emotional expression more in the right of the brain and process language more in the left. However, images captured of the brain reveal logic and creativity both use the whole thing, not just one side. The myth that you can get amnesia from a hit to the head. What were we talking about again? This one is straight out of dramatic movies and TV shows. You know the plot device. A character takes a big crack on the noggin and suddenly can't even remember their name or any detail of their lives outside of, ironically, the use of the English language. But the question is, can this happen in real life? Well, according to multiple neurologists and researchers in the field of neuroscience, while a concussive blow to the head can cause a form of amnesia that temporarily blocks the formation of new memories, there has never been a case, nor is there any proof of such a condition, rendering the patient unable to remember anything about themselves. That memory wipe version of amnesia is called a hysterical amnesia and is caused by the mind being unable to deal with the emotional traumatic event. The myth that all brain damage is permanent. Whenever we hear someone has brain damage, we tend to assume the worst. Oh, they're never going to wake up again, and if they do, they'll suffer from severe mental disabilities for the rest of their lives. But even though brain damage is an incredibly terrifying condition, it doesn't necessarily mean it's irreversible. For instance, a concussion is actually a form of brain damage, and people come back from them all the time. See, it all comes down to the type and severity of the damage done. While some people go their whole lives without realizing they even had brain damage, others suffer horrific consequences and sadly don't come back from it. So if you got a bump on the noggin, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. I promise you. The myth that alcohol kills brain cells. Oh yeah, we've all heard this one,
It
especially
does?
if you've ever gone out on the weekend and feel a little slow the next day. We're all likely aware of the effects of alcohol either personally or by witnessing them. But is the famous line that mothers everywhere use to try to thwart their offspring from drinking true? Does alcohol actually kill brain cells? Well, if you're watching this drum roll, you probably figured it out already. As it turns out, even with binge drinking or alcoholism, there's never been a case in which brain cells have died. According to Roberta J. Pentany, a professor of anatomy and cell biology at the University of Buffalo, while excessive drinking can cause damage to the ends of our neurons in our heads, the cell itself isn't damaged. Only communication between the cells is affected, and that is mostly reversible. And you know exactly what that's about with the communication problem, you know, have a little too many drinks. Hey, I have a problem talking. This video was brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with Squarespace. They have incredible templates to make your website amazing and easy. Each template is a starting point for a wide range of projects. Whether you're pursuing your side hustle or promoting your main gig. And of course, Squarespace provides award-winning 24/7 customer support to help. So go to squarespace.com/Santoro for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, you'll save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks again so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. And thanks to you for watching, but we're not done yet. On your screen, there's 2 more videos that you can tap to check out right now, or if you want to check out all of my most...
Wait, so I'm gonna explain. For the last few minutes, we're gonna watch this video first. Let's watch a quick on this video. Right, this video is not sponsored, but that last video was. But this, trust me, this one's not.
Sorry, being bald gives them extra fast access to my brains. They were really after me. The zombie apocalypse is something everyone fantasizes about because of TV shows and movies. But have you ever thought about what would happen if it actually happened? Would you really have any clue of what to actually do? Well, with the help of the Walking Dead No Man's Land, who's sponsoring this video, I'm about to tell you.
This video's not sponsored. That one is, but
here
this one's
are
not.
10 ways to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Yay!
Number 10 is don't go solo. Traveling in groups can seem hazardous at times. You know, not knowing who's hiding a bite and will end up trying to snack on your flesh in the middle of the night. But experts agree that should the zombie apocalypse ever actually befall our civilization, your odds of survival are far better with allies surrounding you. Being in a group means having people watching your back, especially at night when you're asleep. They also make supply runs safer and shorter ordeals, and help intimidate and defend against other human groups who might want to steal your stuff. More people on your side means less against you. Plus, let's not discount the fact that having teammates means that you have access to cannon fodder. I mean, let's be completely honest, why you gotta check out the dark storage shed yourself when Kevin's eager to prove himself, right? Go get him, Kev. Number 9 is go up, not down. You know in scary slasher movies where the victim is always running upstairs in order to flee the killer just to corner themselves and die anyway? Well, when you're being chased by the dead, it's actually a good tactic. I mean, let's be completely honest. Zombies are pretty terrible at climbing stairs, or ladders for that matter, which means if they break down your door, your best bet is to move to higher ground, preferably up a ladder to an attic when possible. Then, once you're there, just stay super quiet and out of sight until the walkers hear something else and shamble off. You're more than welcome to try going downstairs instead, maybe even hiding in your basement. But as it turns out, zombies are actually pretty good at the whole down thing. Basically just falling down the stairs, sometimes in large numbers, standing back up and then, you know, consuming your face. Number 8 is practice room clearing. Just because you've seen a zombie movie doesn't mean you're an expert at determining where the undead will be during a search of a building or area.
That one is
your
a mask.
group is going to live a lot longer if you practice as often as possible. You should run drills for supply runs with some additional people playing the zombies. It's best to move in groups of 3, back to back to back, with your shoulders touching your teammates' shoulders. Okay, we actually doing this? Yeah, you go first. They might eat your face. What? Nothing. This way, your back is never actually turned to a zombie. zombie, as your allies should be able to spot it. Also, check everything in refrigerators, under beds, in bathroom stalls, and be ready for a sudden surprise. You might think zombies are wicked dumb. There's no way they could climb into a basket. That is, until one bursts out of a hamper and sinks their teeth into you. Oh, clean laundry. Oh my god! Number 7 is learn nonverbal signals. Trust me, you definitely don't want to be that one person who yells out, "There's a horde of zombies over there!" and draws an army of undead to your group. It's not exactly going to make you Mr. Popular. So, the best way to avoid
You're
such a
gonna be
mistake
dead
is by learning to communicate
if you
with
do
hand
that.
motions or
Wait,
other
I'm not
nonverbal
making
methods.
fun of
One
anything,
way is
but
obviously
honestly,
through
in a
sign
zombie
language,
apocalypse,
but
you
that
take
can
it
take
dead
a long time to
serious.
signal and will be next to impossible while you're holding a weapon. Your best bet for you and your group of fellow survivors is to establish a handful of hand signals that will convey simple messages, such as single zombie, horde, or armed humans. Don't forget the basics, such as stop and get ready. You may even want to throw in a "I need to pee," as you never know when that's going to be a necessary message while some walkers are moving by.
How about poop? You can't think about
Number
poop.
6 is pick appropriate weapons. If you're looking to survive in a zombie world for a long time, then reserving bullets is a must. When dealing with a single zombie, it's time to get closer and more physical with light weapons, while keeping in mind that flashy kills are for the movies. Large sledgehammers and pickaxes look cool, but if you don't have the strength to pull it free of a skull in one motion, you could find yourself killing just one while becoming lunch for his buddies. Alternatively, it might seem simple or even fun to set one on fire and let it burn to ashes, but that flaming walker is still coming for you, igniting all of his surroundings and fellow brain eaters as well. It might not be long before you find yourself surrounded by not just zombies, but flaming zombies. Plus, say goodbye to that city block, as most of the firefighters are likely gone. Or zombies.
Yep.
Number 5 is have fun. Okay, this one might sound weird, but hear me out. While fighting off the armies of undead that are constantly trying to kill you, it becomes easy to start losing it if you don't take some me time. It may even seem ridiculous to even consider having a little fun during the zombie apocalypse, but keeping your sanity and enjoying what life you have left is super important. A good way is to find a way to get your cell phone charged and play a mobile game like The Walking Dead No Man's Land. Sure, cell towers are no longer working and you can't text your mom.
Oops.
It might not be long before...
Let's get past it.
Okay, this one might sound weird, but hear me out. While fighting off the armies of undead that are constantly trying to kill you, it becomes easy to start losing it if you don't take some me time. It may even seem ridiculous to even consider having a little fun during the zombie apocalypse, but keeping your sanity and enjoying what life you have left is super important. A good way is to find a way to get your cell phone charged and play a mobile game like The Walking Dead No Man's Land. Sure, cell towers are no longer working and you can't text your mom anymore, but at least you can kill some digital undead in between killing actual undead. And the game is a strategy game, so while having fun, you might actually learn some techniques that you can use in the real world. It's actually available for download in the description below, but I'll tell you more about that later. Number 4 is armor up.
Are we going down
Movie
or
and
what?
television zombies have taught us anything, it's that the undead always go for exposed skin, the neck, arms, or face, but if you're faced with a real-life zombie apocalypse, get creative and leave nothing exposed. When the dead rise, you can bet that armed forces will be armored up, and you should be too. Now, if you can't get body armor from a zombie SWAT team member or undead army ranger, then make your own. Lining a snowsuit with thick plastic and metal will make you slow but nearly unbiteable. Think about it, a knight in full plate mail armor and a helmet wouldn't be worried about getting bit. Plus, having everyone in your group armored like that comes with an added benefit. If one of them gets infected and turns, they will have a really hard time biting you with all that metal on their head. Duh, John turned. It's okay though, his face is in metal. He can't bite us. Look at him. Look at him trying. He's cute. Number 3 is always keep food and water on you.
Alright, I'm gonna end the video
I
here.
mean, literally cover yourself.
Subscribe, like. You don't wanna like, that's fine. Subscribe, press the bell. If you don't want to, that's fine. Just make sure you subscribe. If you don't want to, tough. Actually, if you don't want to, please. I'm not forcing you, but please. And next video, I'm thinking of reacting to Content Cop by iDubbbz TV. I keep watching it and I'm a huge fan. Alright.